I was thinking the other day how much we take for granted here these days. I remember my father he was in the hunting stables, and he would be out early, 5ish, some mornings, and he would have had his cup of tea. But to have a cup of tea then, someone had to light the fire, boil the kettle, and lighting the fire may not have been that simple. And you just hoped the sticks were dry from the night before, otherwise lighting the fire took an awful long time. And that's how it started, how the day started. That led me on to thinking about matches. They played a very important part. Well, the boxes certainly came in all shapes and sizes. Now, I do not know whether these were for advertising or for people who'd got big ovens or what, but they're quite a size. And this was an interesting one, because these, it says on the box, made by Branch and Mays. They are braided cigar lights. And on the bottom it also tells you that the heads cannot fall off. The stems look almost woven. The stick part of it, it's got a pattern as if it's woven. I've always wanted to try one of these. I never have done yet. If you're game, I am. Because the health and safety things have always been seen to. We're okay with that. Light the candle with a cigarette lighter. Here we go. I can assure you this is the first time this has happened. Well, no. As Robbie Burns said, the carefully laid schemes of mice and man, gang after gley. Those were matches they were selling solely for lighting cigars. We had large boxes of matches, and we got small boxes. A neat little box. On your waistcoat pocket. And these were royal wax vestas. Now, I do believe matches were always referred to as vestas at one time. But the vestas these are interesting, they're not mine. Little silver holders for matches. Little rings on them. But I do wonder whether they were perhaps hanging on a watch chain. And there you have the matches and the means of striking along the bottom. And these are the ones which they claim are not poisonous. These boxes were made of wood and then coated with paper. Oh, elaborate for a cigarette box. Now we're getting on to one of my favourites. This is this chappie. And this is a church warden pipe. And it's a clay pipe. And it was made, this one is termed a long Bosley. This is a long Bosley pipe. It was made by a firm in Bosley in Shropshire. I contacted a man there's a clay pipe research organisation. And I asked him why they were called church warden pipes, because everyone asked me that. Didn't get a definite answer, but he did say that these were not for working men. It'd obviously be for someone who'd got a considerable amount of time and perhaps quite well off. But there was another one called an alderman's pipe, which was even longer. they likened it to the yard of ale. You had the yard of ale and you had almost a yard of pipe as well. But it's a clay pipe, and it's very, I get word every time I handle it, thing. Made of clay, very fragile. Just imagine if it's that far away from you. The end has been dipped in, they put lead on the end of that. They can actually roughly fix the date when this was made. So this one was definitely made before 1907, because the poor chappie who did that part of the operation died of lead poisoning in 1907. They had smaller ones for working class, quite small. I was told the other day that some public houses would have a row of them, and you bought your tobacco, you could borrow his pipe. When you took it back, later on he would clean it by putting it in the embers or something like that, and cleaned it that way. All sorts of stories coming about with these. With a pipe that length, it wasn't that easy to light it. But they got around that by having what they called ember tongs. Those are a pair of ember tongs. And with that, as the name suggests, you could pick up a glowing ember out of the fireplace and reach that with relative ease to light the pipe. And it had these protuberances on it, one there, which you could use to tamp the pipe, tamp the tobacco. So, ember tongs went with it.